Imagine this. You're stranded on a huge green field. As far as you can see, there's food everywhere. Millions of blades of fresh green grass cover the ground. A nearby cow walks over, takes one bite, then another, and happily spends the entire day eating. But if you tried doing the same thing, you'd probably end up hungry, with a stomach ache and almost no energy. So here's the question. Why? If grass is everywhere, why can't humans survive on it? After all, grass is a plant. We already eat plenty of plants. Lettuce, spinach, broccoli, cabbage, even wheat and rice all come from plants. So what makes ordinary grass so different? Is it poisonous? Not really. Is it dangerous? Usually not. In fact, you can chew grass. You can even swallow it. But your body will barely get anything useful from it. To understand why, we first need to look at what grass is actually made of. Because hidden inside every blade of grass is one of the toughest natural materials on Earth. A material so strong that millions of years of evolution forced certain animals to completely redesign their digestive systems, just to unlock the energy trapped inside it. And those animals include cows. So how can a cow turn simple grass into muscle, milk, and enough energy to survive, while humans can't? The answer isn't stronger teeth. It isn't a bigger stomach. And it isn't because cows are somehow better at eating. The real reason is much stranger. Inside every cow, there's an entire microscopic ecosystem, working 24 hours a day. And without it, even cows couldn't survive on grass. So before we compare cows and humans, let's first answer a much simpler question. What exactly is grass? And why is it so difficult to digest? So, what exactly makes grass so difficult to eat? At first glance, it doesn't seem very different from other plants. It's green, it grows from the ground, and it's packed with water. But if you could zoom in all the way down to the microscopic level, you'd discover that every blade of grass is built like a tiny fortress. The walls of its cells are made from an incredibly tough material called cellulose. Cellulose is the most abundant organic material on Earth. Trees are full of it. Plants depend on it. Even the paper in books and the cotton in your clothes are mostly made from cellulose. Its job is simple: to make plants strong enough to stand upright. Without cellulose, grass would collapse into a soft green puddle every time the wind blew. But here's the problem. While cellulose is great for plants, it's terrible for humans. Your body simply doesn't have the tools to break it apart. Imagine being handed a locked treasure chest, filled with delicious food. You can carry it. You can shake it. You can even bite it. But without the key, the treasure inside stays trapped forever. That's exactly what happens when humans eat grass. The calories are there. The nutrients are there. But they're locked behind walls made of cellulose. And our digestive system doesn't have the key. So what happens instead? Most of the grass passes through your body almost unchanged. You might get a tiny amount of water and a little bit of fiber, but almost none of the energy hidden inside. That's why no matter how much grass you eat, you'll never feel satisfied the way a cow does. So if humans don't have the key, who does? The surprising answer is almost no animal does. Not horses, not sheep, not rabbits, not even cows. Wait, what? If cows can't digest cellulose, then how do they spend their entire lives eating grass? The answer is one of the most fascinating partnerships in nature, because cows don't digest grass alone. In fact, they get a little help from trillions of tiny living organisms inside their stomach. And without those microscopic partners, a cow would starve, standing in the middle of an endless field of food. So, if cows can't digest cellulose either, how do they survive on grass? The answer is surprisingly simple. They don't do it alone. Inside every cow lives an entire microscopic world. Not one, not 100, but trillions of tiny living organisms, mostly bacteria, along with fungi and other microbes. Together, they work like a giant recycling factory. But before these tiny workers can begin, the grass has to go through an incredible journey. Unlike humans, a cow doesn't have just one stomach. It has 4 separate compartments. Each one has a different job. When a cow first swallows grass, it barely chews it. The grass travels into the first and largest chamber, called the rumen. Think of the rumen as a giant natural fermentation tank. Instead of powerful acids doing all the work, the rumen is filled with trillions of microorganisms. These tiny microbes immediately begin attacking the cellulose, something humans simply cannot do. Over the next several hours, they slowly break the tough plant fibers apart, unlocking the energy trapped inside. As they digest the grass, they produce special nutrients called volatile fatty acids. These fatty acids become the cow's main source of energy. In other words, the cow isn't really living on grass. It's living on what the microbes create from the grass. But the process isn't finished yet. After resting in the rumen, the cow brings the partly digested grass back into its mouth. Yes, it actually spits the food back up. Then it chews it again. This is called chewing the cud. You've probably seen cows sitting quietly, moving their mouths over and over. They aren't eating new grass. They're chewing the same grass, a second time, sometimes even a third time. Each round breaks the fibers into smaller pieces, making life easier for the microbes waiting inside the rumen. Only after this long teamwork between the cow and trillions of microscopic helpers does the food continue into the remaining stomach chambers, where the nutrients are finally absorbed. It's an incredibly efficient system. In fact, without those tiny microbes, a cow would be just as helpless as we are. It could eat grass all day and still slowly starve. So if cows depend entirely on microscopic helpers, why don't humans simply have those same microbes? Why didn't evolution give us the same digestive superpower? The answer lies in something even more fascinating: the way humans evolved millions of years ago. And once you understand that, you'll realize why eating grass was never part of our survival plan. So, if eating grass seems so useful, why didn't humans evolve the same digestive system as cows? The answer begins millions of years ago. Our earliest ancestors didn't live on endless open grasslands like modern cattle. They lived in forests, woodlands, and changing landscapes where food was incredibly unpredictable. Some days they found fruit. Other days, nuts, roots, seeds, insects, eggs, and occasionally meat. Survival didn't depend on eating one type of food. It depended on eating almost anything that provided quick energy. Evolution rewards efficiency. Building a digestive system like a cow's comes with a huge cost. A cow spends 6 to 8 hours every single day eating, then several more hours chewing the same food again. Its massive stomach is constantly working. All of that takes time, energy, and space inside the body. For cows, it's worth it, because grass is everywhere. But for early humans, that would have been a terrible trade. Imagine trying to hunt animals, climb trees, build tools, or escape predators, while carrying a gigantic fermentation chamber inside your body. Instead, our ancestors evolved something completely different: a smaller digestive system, a larger brain, and hands capable of making tools. Rather than digesting tough plants for hours, humans learned to find foods that were already rich in energy: sweet fruit packed with natural sugars, nuts full of healthy fats, seeds loaded with nutrients, and eventually, meat. Then something happened that changed human history forever. Humans discovered fire. Cooking broke down food before it even entered the stomach. Suddenly, our bodies had to do far less work. Cooked meat became easier to chew. Roots became softer. Many plants became safer to eat. Scientists believe this change allowed humans to get more calories from less effort. Over thousands of generations, our digestive system adapted to this new lifestyle. While cows became incredible grass-eating machines, humans became incredible problem solvers. Instead of evolving another stomach, we evolved something far more powerful: our intelligence. We didn't change the food, we changed the world around us. And that's why, even today, a cow can spend its entire life eating grass, while a human standing in the very same field would slowly starve.